Hello everybody and welcome back to the Rodea the Sky Soldier playthrough. It's time for Chapter 12, Operation Rescue Ion. There's a whole bunch of ships there. I think that's probably where we need to go, don't you think? Now, in comparison to Volcano Under Blazing Skies, or Volcano Under the Blazing Skies, this is a much more meaty chapter. It's still quite short. I mean, very few of the chapters in Rodea surpass kind of 15 minutes. They're all in that kind of 10 to 15 minute mark, apart from the Kronos Tower boss fights, which all seem to be like sub 5 minutes. But that may just be that I'm playing slightly too well for them. Not to toot my own horn or anything. So, this is one of the slightly lengthier parts, and I'm quite grateful for that. Well, slightly lengthier chapters is probably a more accurate term, because the lengthier parts are all the 20-odd minute ones. It's only 15 minute, but still. Now, you're constantly going to be fighting wind throughout this chapter. There is a point where it will stop with that, but you are going to be struggling with it for a little while, at least anyway. And what wonder have we got here? Okay, this one's not too horrendously bad. It's just a case of making sure that, you know, you don't get hit by the bombs, because that would be really bad. Thankfully, it's rather easy. And obviously, once the force field's gone down, you can just run down the bottom and completely avoid the bombs. So that's a really nice bonus room. I wish more of them were like that. It's also probably one of the few bonus rooms where you will then actually have to make your way to the door. So obviously most of them, the door is kind of like right next to where the medal is. There, nope, just decided let's be different, eh? And as you can probably guess, I just got a wee bit disoriented. I was just like, which way do I go? I was just like, oh, this way, because there's a bell. And I was like, oh no, we struck that bell. That bell's done. That was our checkpoint.
That thing's huge. It's nothing.
Yeah, it's only like 2 flying enemies that we've defeated before. I mean, I think they're going to give us give me a little bit of grief here, just because they're going to be flying around quite a lot. And sometimes it's a little bit difficult to kind of get a good grip on them. But once you do, you're generally okay. Now, that was a very stupid move on my part, because you need that bomb to be able to actually get the medal in this one. It's so cruel, because instinctively your brain goes, ah, bomb, blow it up so I don't get hit. Yeah, that it just completely screws you over. And it's just like, no! Why do you do this to me? But oh well, I can let go of a legacy medal. Have no real specific need or desire for them anyway, so I shall live. Also, I'm pretty sure that like one of these flying enemies just appeared out of nowhere. I'm pretty sure there was only 2. And we destroyed one. Maybe the other one decided it was going to revive. But I really don't know. It certainly caught me off guard when I was recording, because I was just like, but I was only expecting there to be one out here. Why are there two? Why are there two? This is weird. But they're all defeated now, so it's not a problem. Now, I have to say, I do apologise that I can't be quite so informative as I have been with most of my other playthroughs that I've ever done. But unfortunately, that's what tends to happen when games come out and there's really very little info on them out there. The only thing that Rodea's really got going for it in terms of trivia is its development hell.
It's so hot. Don't be
Everything else is pretty kind of kept behind closed doors, which is really sad, because this is a game I would really love to hear more about in terms of its cultural resonances and all of that, but as it stands, I don't think there's really a whole lot that we can go on. Because so Mount Eben, which we went to in the last part, Eben's like dark brown or black, so basically ebony. But it's not particularly interesting. Then when it comes to, like, say, the name of Rodea, like, the closest word that I can think of to Rodea is rodeo, which has absolutely nothing to do with flying. Also, goddamn this particular thing, it's cruel. And at that point I was just like, nope, that one is not happening. I mean, the way of getting through it is to not do the ridiculous spamming that I was. In that what you need to do is get to the location that you want to be, then do the spamming until the thing has gone away, and then zoom all the way over to the next one. That is how you're meant to do it, but unfortunately I'm a little bit twitchy when it comes to trying to get through it, because those force fields just put me on edge. I really dislike them. But we have reached kind of the second half of the chapter, and it's quite a cool little thing. Basically what we need to do is we need to search and find Ion. So what the game wants you to do is it wants you to check every single ship and try and do it without getting spotted. It doesn't matter if you do get spotted, the game's not going to really penalise you all that heavily. You'll just have some enemies trying to attack you. That is literally it. And to be honest, these guys aren't too difficult to defeat either. I mean, especially once you've got the power up, they're just one hit, they're down. And as long as you defeat the enemy, then you can still check the ship. So it's just, to be honest, it's just easier to just kill these guys. Now, the one thing that I will point out is that only one of these ships houses Ion, and it will be the same ship every single time. So if you don't want to go through checking all of these and listening to the slightly funny dialogue, although it's not particularly funny, you just want to go to the one that is all the way over there, actually. So from where you start off, it's the one on the far right at the back.
Ion, are you here?
It's really very easy to spot, and it is always this one. So, no need to worry too much. Also, there is actually no search bot here, so that is also a massive clue as to where it is. Well, where it is where Ion is.
Okay.
Oh, Rodea, you are so weak. Come on, just like do your boost attack into it, just smash the thing down. Oh, we had one of those. Do even work out? Oh, the burn.
You don't need to tell me twice. Ion.
I have to say though, for a kind of robot who's supposed to be really powerful, he's really scrawny, is Rodea. Obviously, it doesn't affect him at all, but he's got the typical kind of anime looks and surprising strength to match up.
Annoying. Can't you be quiet for 1 second?
Also, I think that's probably one of the few instances of characters saying what people are probably thinking in this game, because like most of the time they're just quite happily chatting along, but Ion's grandfather can get a wee bit annoying, as can the rest of the people. Rodea's grandfather, Ion's grandfather, along with all the people who live in Ion's village. So it's kind of a slight fourth wall break, if you ask me.
Ozzy looks embarrassed, like he wants to turn invisible.
Okay. Sorry. Keep on talking.
I think that's the first time we've heard what Ion's grandfather's called outside of being Ion's grandfather. So he's called Ozzy, which is kind of adorable. Now, this is something that I didn't realise could actually happen, but I went over here and I thought, oh look, there's a location, but nope, there is an out of bounds for this area, and you'll just get sent straight back to here, which is quite nice, I suppose, that they don't kind of automatically kill you for running off the edge, but it's still just like, but I wanted to explore. And you've got to do it in a slightly whiny voice. It's the only way of getting through it, really. But where you want to go to find this key card is at the top of these kind of floating islands. The best way of getting to them is just kind of going up this little hill crest bit, I suppose. And then you just climb from there. Now, you will have this guy trying to attack you. Pretty sure that he's the one who has the keycard, as, you know, Grandpa Ozzy is saying. Obviously, it's slightly more difficult seeing as we don't have a gun, but freedom of movement, we're all good.
Here's the key.
And now that we have the key, we can just go back and go and save Ion, and all will be good with the world. Yay! But, you know, I see a legacy medal that's not too far out of our way, so let's try and grab it! Now, I'm pretty sure that there are a few other... Well, there's obviously loads of other legacy medals and all that waiting around for us. I'm pretty sure that there is an instance of the final door being around here somewhere. But I think I may be going to grab that particular legacy medal, or I may just be ignoring it and thinking, no, I just want to, you know, just get to the end of this chapter as quickly as possible now. Don't want to make that chain completely wasted. But yes, once we've got the card, we just need to go back to where Ion was being held. Which should be incredibly easy, seeing as we defeated all of the enemies. And there we go. Ion, we're here!
That's how it's done.
Just after, you know, we've posed and gotten all of that out of the way. Of course.
I'm gonna open the door now. Ion! Ion? What's going on? Ion is gone.
What? Hey, that's the fairy.
You
Oh
don't get
dear.
her back so easily.
Ion!
So Operation Rescue Ion was more a failure than a success, but oh well, we will try and save Ion in the next part, in Chapter 13. Let's go!